Hey, Disney Cruisers, and welcome back to the DCL community where we are here to help you plan, prepare for, and get excited for your Disney cruise. You guys know me. I'm Rebecca, your host and admin of the DCL community. And today we are chatting all things concierge. If you are coming in and you're like, I don't know what concierge is, what does it mean, what's included, that is exactly what we're going to be talking through. So you are in the right place. But you guys know me. I am here to help you plan, prepare for, and get excited for your Disney cruise. But more importantly, we have a very special guest, Disney Cruise Line specialist, Hunter. And I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself. And as people are coming in, please say hello. Let us know if you've ever cruised concierge before or if you're thinking about it. And Hunter, yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi guys, my name is Hunter. As Rebecca mentioned, I am one of the recommended and preferred agents with the Disney Cruise Line community. I have been a travel advisor for almost 10 years, and my favorite vacations to go on and plan are Disney cruises. I've been on 28 Disney cruises across all 5 of Disney's amazing ships, and planning, booking, and sailing Disney is just a true passion of mine. And I have so much firsthand experience and knowledge to share with my guests. So it's just really special. I love it. I can talk about it all day long. Um, I love everything from the crew, the unlimited ice cream, the Disney shows, character interactions, the Disney magic, the Disney customer service, all of that. And I also love that it's like the perfect mix of a true vacation with that Disney magic. Because going to the parks isn't really much beach and relaxation. So I like that Disney Cruise Line gives us that component too.
Yes. Oh my gosh. The actual vacation part of a vacation, so underrated.
Yeah. So if you are interested in working with me, you can contact me via any of these channels above. When we share the presentation later, these will be clickable links, but email is my preferred, hunter@jco, so jcotravel.com.
And I will get the link to Hunter's page on the DCL community site in the comments for everybody as well.
So, what are my specialties? So, in the Disney Cruise Line realm, I really specialize in family travel. As you can see on the picture on the right, I do have 2 kiddos. They've been cruising Disney all of their lives. They love it, probably almost as close to as much as I do. Beyond that, I specialize in allergy travel, dealing with celiac disease and nut allergies, and then any other allergies that my guests come to me with. But those are the allergies we have in our family. So lots of experience there. And then also my husband is an amputee. So I have a very wide knowledge base on accessible travel. And then concierge staterooms. We love sailing concierge. I've sailed concierge on all of Disney Cruise Line's ships. I've been in the lounges. I've been in the lounges since the renovations on the newer ship or on the older ships. And there is just something super special about sailing concierge that makes your Disney Cruise Line vacation elevated. And it's really hard to explain until you've done it. And then once you've done it, most of my cruisers say, I'll never go back to sailing without it. But with that being said, I have sailed regular after sailing concierge all the way into actually an inside stateroom most recently, and still had a phenomenal time. So just know that if you're watching this and you feel like concierge is out of your budget, but you're just tuning in for fun, first, thank you. But secondly, you're not like you can still have an amazing time. I do it all the time. So I would say only about half of my cruises of the 28 have been concierge.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's something that people, they fear if they do it once, they can never cruise again because it's not going to be as special or wonderful. I love that you mentioned that they're all going to be special no matter what. And maybe it's for your honeymoon or for your wedding, you splurge
Yeah.
and you do concierge, or maybe, for a big retirement, you can put the grandkids and the kids and everybody in regular staterooms, but you and your spouse can have the concierge suite. So there's definitely times when, if it's not every time, there's times to splurge that are definitely worth it.
So again, just my concierge experience, which we've already hit on. I've sailed on concierge on all of the ships. I've stayed in the veranda concierge. I've stayed in the suites, and I have experienced the different lounge offerings, the different stateroom sizes, and the different hosts among all of the ships. And I just truly love concierge regardless of the ship. It's still an elevated experience regardless of the itinerary.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And if you don't know, I've never sailed concierge before. So like I'm probably going to have questions, but if you have questions as we're going through this, please put them in the comments. Hunter and I will do our best to get to them. Of course, if you have a more specific question, definitely email Hunter because she is here to help you plan your vacation for literally $0 more. So she is here to help use all of this expertise because there are changes between the ships in the spaces on board. There is definitely some overlap in the perks, but I'm excited to learn more too. But definitely let us know about any questions. And yeah, where to start? Where to start if somebody wants to work together, Hunter?
Yeah, so as Rebecca mentioned, my services are completely complimentary to you. So we are paid from Disney Cruise Line, and the commission that we receive through Disney is collected by them, whether you book with an agent or whether you book directly on their website. So the difference is if you're booking directly on the website, you're leaving value on the table because they're not giving you one-to-one service like I will. So if you would like to get started with me, you can just contact me. Again, email is the best channel for our first contact. We will brainstorm the time of year you want to travel based on your schedule and the itinerary that you choose and what makes sense for you financially. We'll, if you're not sure which itinerary or ship you want, we'll collaborate to pick that out. No worries. I don't ever give like a blanket answer because I want to get to know your family and your preferences before I make any suggestions. Once we get down to that perfect time frame, perfect itinerary, I will send over a personalized proposal for you to review. And once you say yes, we lock it in and the fun begins. So again, email me to get started, and then I typically like to get everybody on the phone because it just avoids that back and forth and really allows me to ask you the appropriate questions to make sure we're matching you to the right vacation package because, again, no families are the same. There's no cookie cutter vacation planning when you're working with me.
No, absolutely not. I love how you customize everything for every single family, couple, everybody that you work with. And Ross asked this question, and it's a fun one. It seems like that's too good to be true. What do you mean it's not costing me any extra to work with you? It's not too good to be true.
It's not. So Disney Cruise Line automatically builds in a commission to every single package that they sell. This is every vendor. This is Walt Disney World. This is all-inclusive packages. This is other cruise lines. And if you book through them, they just pocket that. Um, so they're just keeping that money. If you book through an agent, once you travel, they pay us that commission instead of them being able to keep it themselves.
Yeah, and it's a great way to support a small business owner. Hunter owns her own business, and that's awesome. But she's also able to use all of her firsthand experience. If you're booking this on your own, you are going to have 87 tabs open on your computer. You're not going to know what excursions to do. What's the difference with all these concierge things? Is it really worth it for you and your family? Right? Like there's a million questions that you could ask, and you streamline that with that one-on-one service that Hunter would provide. So there is no catch. It's the best. She can handle your payments. She can handle changes. Like she is there for you. She's your girl.
Yeah, there's no calling into a 1-800 center and getting some representative on the phone that doesn't know you, doesn't know your family, doesn't know your vacation, and you have to tell them every single time a synopsis. I'm going to know that, and I'm going to do that for you.
Yes. Oh my gosh. The not having to play the telephone game is one of my favorite parts of working with a travel agent. Just throwing that out there. But let's dive into concierge benefits. I'm excited to learn more about these.
Yeah. So one of my favorite parts about sailing concierge is the pre-arrival planning is incredible. So not only do you have me on your side, but we then have a dedicated shoreside concierge team working with us to make sure you get everything that you want during that planning process. So, when you go on to book activities as a cruiser not concierge, you don't know what you're booking or what's available for booking until you pop on at midnight and see what's on there. When you're working with your sailing concierge and you're working with me, I can reach out to that dedicated shore services concierge team and get an exact list of everything that's available for you to book. So you can look through it and be prepared when the 130-day mark comes. So that's beverage tastings, that is shore excursions, that's onboard activities. anything that can be booked during your onboard activity window. So that leads right into the next one. When is your window open? It opens 130 days prior to sailing, and that is before all other Disney cruisers. So if you're not familiar with the Disney Cruise Line booking structure, you have first time cruisers can book 75 days in advance. So they're the last ones. Silver at 90, gold at 105, platinum at 120, pearl at 125, and then concierge at 130. Um, and if you're not concierge, you don't have to, but most people do to get first dibs, so to speak, get on at midnight Eastern time to secure your excursions and any onboard activities that you want, adult dining, beverage seminars, spa treatments. That's getting up at midnight to do that when maybe you have to work the next day. So when you're concierge, you don't have to do that because we take care of that for you. We send it over the concierge team at midnight for you, and they get back to us and let us know what was secure, and then it populates in your app at a later date. Um, and so not waiting until midnight is fantastic. And then having that priority access to those activities, shore excursions that you can book is gold. So, with that being said, cabanas are the hot item. Cabanas on Lookout, cabanas on Castaway. If you are not concierge, the percentage of chance of you getting it is probably like 0.01. Because there's not even enough cabanas to go around for concierge.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you want a cabana, concierge is probably the way for you to go. And if you're not familiar with the cabanas, they're essentially beachside huts on Castaway and Lookout, Disney's private destinations that keep your family out of the sun, have a priority beach or a preferred beach area. They come with extras like sunscreen, towels, cold washcloths, a stocked mini fridge, snacks, bar service, an outdoor shower, sand toys, an hour of bike rental, snorkel equipment. They do come with an additional charge, but it is a really nice way to spend your time on the beach. For my family, it's super nice because it allows my very fair skinned daughter and husband to get out of the sun. They're not sun people. So it is the only way that I can keep them on the island the entire day.
Yes.
So that's one of the biggest perks of sailing concierge that people go for at that 130-day mark.
And I was going to say, if you want to know more about cabanas specifically and the differences, Hunter and our family have used them. I mean, even the accessible cabana too, right?
We've done the accessible, the regular, the grand family, which can hold up to 20 opposed to the 10 that the others can, and then also the ones on Serenity Bay. So we've done all the cabana experiences.
Love that.
And I think we talked about it a little bit more in depth on our Castaway video.
That sounds right. Yeah. So definitely go back to the DCL community YouTube page and you can find that video there. But, cabanas are one of those things. I mean, Hunter and I are both Pearl, and I don't think I've ever seen a cabana open. So if getting a cabana is important for you, Sailing Concierge doesn't guarantee it. But Hunter having that inside scoop ahead of time and being able to, put your kind of bid in first thing is so important. And I will say having that access to that list ahead of time too is so important because your family might want to do one specific excursion that you see on the DCL, I almost said DCL community, LOL, on the Disney Cruise Line site, but they might not offer that on every one. So Hunter can help find an excursion outside of Disney that's perfect for your family. And again, that's that one-on-one service and that sneak peek that you're getting because you're concierge and because you're working with Hunter.
Yes. And another thing that people don't always know, I'm going to sneak this in here since we're talking about excursions, is Disney Cruise Line does offer private excursions, which is like hotcakes for my concierge families. They love private excursions, especially in Europe.
Oh, yeah, that would be amazing. Not have to do like huge tour groups. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Yes, we definitely need to talk about those more because
And
that
also for big family sailing, like
oh
families
yeah.
of 10 or families of 20, like it's a great, great option. So, anyways, moving on. Um, sorry, my dog wants to join. Another pre-arrival benefit for concierge sailors is a priority wait list. So, say you book and the main dining is full at the time of booking, you don't have to worry about that because you're going to get the top of that list. And as soon as the 130-day mark rolls around, magically, I'm going to get a confirmation in my email and it's going to show that you were changing from second to main dining. Other wait lists that could be applicable would be Cabana. So, say somebody cancels a Cabana on board, they're going to see if anybody on the concierge wait list, or if anybody on the wait list is concierge, they're going to get first dibs over somebody else, even if they were on the wait list first.
Got
That's
it.
just how
Good
it
to
works.
know. Interesting. Okay. Okay. I'm learning here.
All right. So, another one of my favorites, I think every bullet's really going to be my favorite tonight, guys. Priority embarkation. So, you get boarding group one, first on the ship. And with that also comes you can be the first off the ship because you get priority debarkation also. And you meet in the lounge, and the concierge host will take you straight down, and you can cut the line to get off the ship as well if you're in a hurry to make a flight or whatever. So, in the terminals at the cruise ports, you have embarkation lounges for concierge. They definitely have them at Port Canaveral and Port Everglades and Fort Lauderdale, um, where you have your own space outside of the buzz of the main terminal. It typically has refreshments and snacks, and then your host will often come into the lounge and greet you if there's like a little bit of a wait, and then you're the first on the ship.
Love that.
I do really love that seating area that's out of the noise and buzz of the main terminal.
Yeah. I remember one time I went to go into the one at Port Canaveral when it first started because that space wasn't always concierge. And I went to walk in, I was like, nope, not for me, not for me. And this is for the very special concierge sailors.
The one
So yeah,
right by where they do photos by the Mickey ears.
yes,
Yeah, so
yes.
there's actually two. There's that one, and then they have this one that you see here, this photo of those doors.
How fancy. Love that.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then at Port Everglades, it's actually upstairs. If like you're down in the main terminal and you look up, it's kind of open and you can see up there.
Love that.
And then for debarkation, this also includes when you're getting off the ship for ports, especially tender ports, so Grand Cayman, Los Cabos, etc. You'll get priority tendering to shore if you're
Oh
concierge.
yeah. Very cool. And we have a question from Ashley. Was thinking about taking DCL transfers to the port, but will that be a benefit if we can board first?
My answer here is going to depend on if you are concierge or not. I typically don't have my concierge cruisers take Disney Cruise Line transfers. If my first time cruisers are not sailing concierge, I do typically have them take Disney Cruise Line transfers for the better um, boarding group and port arrival time. It doesn't always work out, but a lot of times it is favorable compared to what my first time cruisers would get if they got up at midnight 30 days before and picked their port arrival time.
Yeah. Yes, such a good point. There's
But a
definitely
lot of
some
my
things that,
concierge cruisers take private transportation.
yeah, that would make perfect sense. And you have connections for that, right?
Oh, yes, I definitely have preferred vendors. I even have a preferred driver because he's fantastic, that I always request for private transportation for my cruisers.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. So if you want that, definitely get in touch with Hunter to help you plan everything. Oh my gosh, that Eggs Benedict looks so good right now.
All right, so embarkation day still, talking about lunch. They kind of have a welcome reception style lunch in the main dining room for concierge guests upon embarkation. So there's going to be two main dining rooms open. One's going to be just for concierge guests, and one's going to be for all other guests. In that concierge embarkation lunch, they're going to have sparkling wine. Um, you're going to meet your concierge team. You're going to get a rundown of your benefits. They're going to go over your what you already have pre-booked. There will be somebody from the spa often in there that if you need a spa treatment, they can talk to you. The food's going to be a little bit different, and it's just a nice, easy, low-key lunch. And I find that it's hit or miss with my cruisers, my concierge cruisers, if they do it or not. My first time concierge cruisers, I always recommend doing it because it kind of takes you out of the chaos that is embarkation day
Yeah, good
and
point.
allows you to really grasp what you're receiving in perks by sailing concierge because you're meeting that team. You're having that first connection with at least one of the hosts. Um, and I think that can really elevate your experience the rest of the cruise. And then, of course, it gives you the option to check what you have pre-booked and request additional things that you maybe didn't get or didn't think about and now want, or even cancel something.
Oh, good point. Good
Um,
point.
and then for more dining talk here, so main dining, again, I briefly touched on this. If you don't get it when you book, say you book last minute and it's second dining, whatever, don't worry. You're going to get main dining. Like there's no questions about it. You're going to get main dining. And not only are you going to get your preferred dining time, because I know not everybody wants main dining, but that's the one that's always waitlisted. But you're going to get preferable seating in the main dining rooms. So say it's Animator's Palette, you're going to get placed closer to the screens where Crush is going to talk. Say you're in Arendelle, you're going to get placed closer to the stage, or Rapunzel's, you're going to get preferred seating in the main dining room by being concierge.
Got it.
You're going to get priority reservations for adult dining. So again, during that 130-day onboard booking window, you can request Palo, Enchante, Remy. And say you didn't book any of those before, you're still going to get priority booking of those when you're on board. Just like with the Cabanas. If there's a wait list and there's a concierge person on it, they trump even somebody who was above them.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Pearl status doesn't mean quite as much when you're talking about concierge cruisers. So even some of the stuff I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, I don't even get that. So if this is something that's important to you, get with Hunter, schedule some time on her calendar between, now and whenever you want to book, and just pick her brain on why these perks might be worth it for your family and your cruise. This is awesome. Oh my
So
gosh.
continuing the dining, you can have Palo, Remy, Enchante served in your stateroom if you're in a royal suite, a tower suite. And that is a big hit with my clients that are sailing in suites. Having that extremely high-end dining experience in your own private room is just taken to another level than being in Palo and Remy and Enchante, which are already incredible restaurants. But you're having a private romantic room service essentially.
Yeah. And is it one of the servers from Palo or Ashante who's doing everything? So they can, wow, that's awesome. That is
And
so
then
awesome.
if you have a one bedroom suite, so you can see my photo here, we had a one bedroom suite and we were able to have our breakfast served in our room because there is a dining space in the one bedroom suite. This is gold for my allergy families.
Ooh.
Like, this is so ideal because breakfast, I would say, is probably the hardest meal for my allergy families because kids don't want to get up. You wait too long in the main dining room, don't feel comfortable with cabanas. Room service doesn't have hot breakfast items. You're having breakfast in your room as an allergy family can make or break your cruise. Truly. So I highly recommend my concierge cruisers that have allergies to do a one bedroom.
Good
So
to
you
know.
can order your breakfast the night before and have it delivered right to your room. They set it up, put a tablecloth on, anything you want.
Love
So
that.
that's what this is picturing.
Okay, amazing. And we do have a couple of questions that came in. Okay, most recent one. Are there one bedrooms that aren't concierge?
There are not.
There are not. Okay. Can you upgrade to concierge after you booked?
If there is availability.
If there's availability, awesome.
But please note that the terms and conditions change once you move to concierge.
Oh, okay. Good to know on that one. Yes, because if anything changes, that fine print is definitely going to matter. And then this question, is it worth it for a 3-day? I feel like that's probably going to depend on you and your family. So I would definitely reach out to Hunter to talk it through
Totally
more.
subjective.
Yeah, that one that one's tough because it could be worth it for, I mean, even an hour on board. And one of those lounges, oh my gosh, I know we're going to talk about them, so I'm getting ahead of myself. But oh, that lounge, perfect segue.
Concierge Lounge. I love this place. So in the lounge, it's typically open like 7 a.m. to 10. You have dedicated hosts in there that act as your guest services. You don't need to go down to guest services, no waiting in line. You have these hosts, this dedicated team to serve you, and they are there to make sure that you have a fabulous time.
Mhm.
Um, so it depends. Most lounges, so we'll have 3 hosts. The Treasure and the Wish, I believe, have 5. They did have 5, but then part of me was thinking they went to 6. I think it's 5. 3 to 5, it's going to depend on the ship and the lounge. Um, in the lounge, you have access to drinks and small plates, rotated every 2 to 3 hours. So in the morning, think you're going to have fresh fruits, yogurt, oatmeal, pastries. And then I want to hit on this real quick too, is if you have allergies, no, you're not going to eat out of the case, but they're going to have plates for you for each rotation in the kitchen, and all you have to do is ask. So
Ooh,
they're going to make you allergy safe snacks that are going to be in the lounge, just in the kitchen, because they're safely prepared and they need to stay separated.
that's
Um,
awesome. That's that
yeah.
extra Disney level service that makes all the difference. That is so cool.
And if you say, like, I don't like certain things, like my husband does not eat raw fish. So he's not going to eat the sushi. He's not going to eat the shrimp cocktail. Like, so as soon as you tell them that, like, because some of those kind of items are brought out as snacks in small plates, they make them something else, a small sandwich, or they love the cake pops, um, or the chocolate covered Oreos. So they will do whatever they can to try to accommodate you.
Love
So
that
again, those
so
small plates rotated every 2 to 3 hours. The Wish and the Treasure also have a hot menu for breakfast. I ate breakfast in the Wish Lounge every morning. They had this phenomenal avocado toast that I dreamed about and literally had to recreate at home, and I never would have come up with this. It was avocado toast with strawberries, goat cheese, and I was like,
Ooh,
I would have never put those together, but it's so good. And
no,
then
oh my gosh.
an egg sandwich, like so many good things on their hot menu. So that is really nice on the Wish and Treasure. And then the second part of the concierge lounge is the sun deck, the outdoor spaces. So you've got amazing loungers. You've got the hot tubs or jacuzzis on most of the ships. The Magic and Wonder do not have the water features. They're also providing you sunscreen and towels, and the sunscreen is copper tone. A lot of times in the baskets, they'll also have the aerosol Evian water, like facial spray.
Ooh,
Glasses wipes, like glasses cleaner, which is super nice. And then on the Wish and Treasure, they also have outdoor bar service. The drinks are additional when it is not happy hour. And I think on the next slide, we flip into happy hour. But the concierge Sundex are a really nice space to be away from everybody else. Um, Most of them are covered too. So if you have somebody in your family that can't be in the sun, this is also a really great opportunity for them to enjoy outside, peace and quiet, and stay out of the sun.
yeah, such a good point. And having that separate space, especially on a crazy sea day, it can make a difference. And I know we've talked about the Wish and Treasure, which I know you got to see and you're so excited to sail on again. But we have this question on the Destiny. Would you suggest going concierge on the Destiny for the first time on that ship?
Absolutely. So the Destiny is going to be, essentially the third sister to the Wish and Treasure. So the concierge lounge is going to be set up the same because nothing structural between these three ships are changing. Um, so I love the concierge lounge on the Wish and Treasure. I would absolutely sail concierge on the Destiny, regardless of it being my first time on that ship.
I
I
love
sailed on the
that.
Wish for the first time concierge. So, and then sailed 5 more times not concierge. Like I don't think my being my first time on that ship wouldn't change that.
So good to know. Yeah. And I feel like with the new ship, it's all so exciting. So having that amazing experience from the
Yeah.
start, like what's not to love? Speaking of what's not to love, Donald Duck, my main
Yes.
guy. Love this picture. It's so cute.
Number one. So in the lounge, happy hour takes place daily from 5 to 10 p.m. This can be seen as a huge perk to families, especially my fellow wine and champagne drinkers. This can save you a lot of money on wine packages or purchasing wine by the bottle or glass on the ship. They
Yes.
also it's an open bar, so you can have cocktails, you can have, you know, whiskey on the rocks, rum and coke, whatever. They also have what my kids love is Cloudum. It's like a
Oh,
blue
yes.
sparkling, like I think it tastes like apple cider. Um, but it's a non-alcoholic sparkling drink, and they serve that during happy hour. I've also seen them have smoothies out in the lounge.
So
I've seen
fun.
them have during Christmas time on the Magic, one of the servers made mulled wine. It was
Ooh,
so good, like hot mulled wine, and the
that's
aroma it put off into the lounge was phenomenal.
I can only
So
imagine. And this is only in the lounge, right? You can't go to like any bar on the ship and show a concierge card and get free or included
no,
drinks.
the happy hour takes place in the lounge bar. Like I said, on the Wish and Treasure, they do have an outdoor bar, so you can get drinks from there, indoor, outdoor, on those ships.
Got it.
Um, you have the chance to have an exclusive character meet and greet. I'm not going to say this happens every sailing, but it did come back recently after COVID. This was picture was taken June 2023, and I know we had one on the Fantasy in 2024 also. So, and the Wonder 2024. So they're definitely back. So you should have the opportunity to have one exclusive character meet and greet, and they'll put the invitation in your stateroom, and it'll tell you like say cheese, and it'll tell you the time and where. It's going to say like either the sun deck or the lounge, and they won't tell you what character it's going to be. So that's a surprise. And oftentimes during this private event, they're going to serve smoothies, mimosas, or just prosecco.
Fun.
So that's nice also. So if you don't want to see the character, just go for a nice libation.
Yes, love that.
For the shows, you get priority seating. So the host will meet you they'll tell you where to go and meet you and take you a back way into the theater. And in the little hallway where you go into the theater, they'll have popcorn set out for you. If you have an allergy, they'll have the bagged popcorn, the top 9 allergen-free bagged popcorn for you. They'll have sodas out, waters. And because you asked us about the drink, if you're a concierge and you're going to the movie theater and you show your card, you will get popcorn for free.
Ooh, that's good to
So
know.
free popcorn is not just during the show. If you want to go to the movie theater, all you have to do is show your Key of the World card. Even if you don't want to go to the movie theater, you're just walking by Preludes, you can show your card and get popcorn. My family
That's
are popcorn
awesome.
crazed. So,
Yes.
yes, that is nice. So, the priority seating for the shows is fantastic because you're going to be the first one in the theater. So the theater doors typically open a half hour before the show, and concierge can start going in 15 minutes before that. So you do have to sit there for a while. Um, My family, one way we always keep busy is playing heads up. And it's funny because people around us sometimes start playing, and that's really fun. If you don't know, that's a game on your phone where you put the phone on your head, and then you have to tell whoever's holding it, explain it, and get them to say that word or what it is. So we do that to keep our kids occupied while we're waiting in line to board, while we're in the airport waiting to get on our flight, waiting for shows. So just a tip.
That That is such a good one. I love that it records too. Watching those videos back is always such a hoot. And I know that we are going to get this question because we get it so frequently. But let's say that I'm sailing concierge and my family isn't. Can I save seats for them or can they come join me in the lounge because I'm concierge? Can they use those benefits?
They cannot come in the lounge. You are technically not supposed to save seats. If they're one of the first to get in the theater, there's going to be seats left by you. But you're not supposed to save seats for anybody in the theater. Your group's supposed to enter the theater all together, and that's just kind of like a general rule, even for everybody when they open the doors.
Yes, yes. And same goes for all these other perks. If you're all wanting to board together, then you have to board with them outside of the concierge board and they can't get bumped up to the first group. So definitely something to think about if you have a multifamily group, why it might make sense for everybody to do concierge so that you can be together or just strategically kind of planning your days out to do those things with each other.
There are some things that are group that you can do. For instance, like a cabana, you could put non-concierge people with you. Um,
Point.
if you're booking a beverage seminar, um, if you are booking Goofy Sports Simulator or an excursion, I've had them pull in people. By excursion, I mean Castaway and Lookout. I
Oh,
recently had one that did the aqua trike that they pulled in some people that were not concierge. Also, the Royal Court team. I've had
good
them
to
pull in
know.
families that they were all doing together. I can't say that they'll do that every time, but definitely the cabana is fine.
Love that. I was going to say, Hunter's got the hookup. She knows everybody on these ships, everybody. So if you need connections, if you need staterooms connected so that you guys can all do these things together, reach out to her because she can help coordinate all the pieces to the puzzle on this. She knows everybody. And I'm obsessed with these rooms on the Treasure.
Oh my gosh,
Obsessed.
I know.
So
That room like stole my heart. I mean, Aladdin's my favorite Disney movie, so that room, this is the Raja Suite on the Disney Treasure, and it's freaking gorgeous. That deep purple is just I don't even like purple actually. I hate purple as a color,
oh,
but that like I love that.
so
Anyway,
pretty.
side tangent. So the concierge staterooms come with upgraded amenities, and that include higher quality linens, higher quality bath products, pillow menus, a stocked mini fridge. I can email concierge your mini fridge preferences. Like for us, we only do Diet Pepsi and water. So that can be stocked so that way you don't have extras in there that you're not going to use and they're just wasting space.
Yeah, good point.
Um, Robes and slippers, please disregard my slipper spelling error, um, are in the closet, and those robes are so cozy. And you could not buy them, but I love the
Yeah,
robes and slippers. And then
yes.
on the Wish and Treasure, they have the king size beds. Some people really insist on king size beds, so that's a big one.
Yes.
But
And oh, go
go ahead.
ahead. I was just
I
going to
was just
say, you go, you go.
okay. I was just gonna say that one thing I like to know about the staterooms is on the Dream Fantasy, Wish and Treasure, they're all right close to the lounge, but on the Wonder and Magic, the staterooms are not all right by the lounge.
Good to know. Okay, I don't even think I knew that one. So that's awesome. Well, I guess pros and cons to being farther away a little bit. Um, and what was it? Oh, and this is, if you have a little one, especially who's going to be napping, having that extra space with some of these bigger staterooms, it can make a difference. If you're in an inside stateroom and you're trying to be quiet while the kid's napping, that you can absolutely do that. I have family that has done that, but having a separate bedroom where you can close the door, where they're in their pack and play
Yes.
and they're sleeping and you can be hanging out in the living room watching a movie or even on your own private veranda, there's definitely perks here with that. So just more things to consider. And we have a question here about the adventure and what we know about the adventures lounge. I don't know. Do we know much? I'm not sure yet.
So about the specific lounge, I don't know, any specifics because even though the ship is already being booked, there's still things that they have not released to us.
Mhm.
So we're not going to know those specifics for a long time. Like the lounge is not something they normally highlight in their press releases as the
Okay.
ship. So until people are stepping foot on board, I highly doubt to see much information about the concierge lounge. But I fully suspect that all of the benefits and amenities are going to carry over.
Yes. And I know the Adventure is a huge ship. So some people might worry, am I going to get worse service because it's such a big ship? Is it going to be watered down? But
Right.
you've never had that experience with Disney, right?
I haven't. So I do like the smaller ships, but I just like them because there's less people on board. And I think that a lot of the crew that are on these smaller ships have been with Disney longer. I feel that when you're on those ships, you're finding servers and you're finding bartenders who have a huge tenure with Disney. And
Yeah.
they go back to these OG ships. Um,
Yes.
and then
And
something
so
about
do
the
the OGs, which
that's
tells
true.
you something, right? Like the Magic and Wonder, do not discount them. Oh,
No,
so
I
amazing.
know people are always so worried about going on, these older ships, but
Yeah.
they're my favorite.
They're the best. They're the
Yeah.
best. Oh my gosh.
One other thing I wanted to hit about concierge amenities is that they have exclusive merch. So, like, I have a
Oh,
white baseball cap that's got like concierge keys on it. Um, this is like concierge pin. They're keys, but it's like
ooh,
a Disney pin. I mean, you can see that the concierge key, the world cards are gold
yeah.
instead of blue. And then they also have like concierge jewelry, so rings with the keys, bracelets with the keys, necklaces with the keys. If you go down to the gift shops and ask what their concierge merchandise is, they'll show you.
Very
And a lot of
cool.
the showcase in the lounge also. The jewelry is.
Oh, that is awesome. I did not know that one. And we have this question here about the robes and slippers. Do they stay on the ship or ours to take home?
They stay on the ship.
Stay on the ship. Good
You
to
can buy a
know.
robe package to bring home. I actually have them, and I love my Disney Cruise Line robes, but they're not the same that are in the stateroom.
Got it. Okay, good to know. Yeah, and all that, I mean, exclusive merchandise. I'm like, yes, concierge. That is awesome. And oh, this question about the you showed your key to the world card. If I have magic bands, do I still need to carry that gold card around?
So you're gonna still need the card to get on and off the ship, but as far as carrying it around, if you scan your band just like you would your card, they're gonna be able to see that you're concierge.
Got it. Okay, good to know. Hope that helps. Oh, the people who make the magic happen.
So the concierge hosts, they're my favorite people. I can't say enough about the hosts and what they do to make your experience above and beyond what you could even expect. Not only do they greet you by name every single time you walk in the lounge, I don't know how they do it. Truthfully, I don't. Um, but they really get to know you and your preferences. So many of the hosts that we've met over the years have become a special part of our Disney Cruise Line experience. I still stay in contact with several of them. I can still name everyone in this picture. Like we adore them. We've sailed with all three of these multiple times. Like they truly are amazing at their job, and they are the best of the best when it comes to Disney Cruise Line crew. A brief story about this exact sailing, actually. That's David, Fabiola, and Junior. And my husband and I had a couple's villa spa treatment booked on the Magic while we were at sea, or while we were in Jamaica, actually. And the spa crew had to do a mandatory safety drill. So
Oh,
they wanted to bump our spa treatment up to 7:30. We were totally fine with that, but then we realized the kids club doesn't open until 8. Um,
okay.
Fabi and David, they were the morning crew, kept our kids in the lounge for 45 minutes, and they pulled out all the stops. They pulled out crayons and coloring papers, and they put on cartoons, and they kept them entertained. And then one thing about Disney Cruise Line is, because some people might hesitate about this, is, well, they're going to walk their kids by themselves to the kids club. 2 crew members have to do, if there's anything to do with a kid, it has to be 2 crew members. So
Mhm.
David and Fabi walked both of our kids to the kids club, checked them in, and then they called the spa. Or we didn't ask them to do this. Called the spa to have them let us know that they were there safely. So they didn't
Stop
have to do any of
it.
this.
Oh, that is
You
so
know,
awesome.
and without them, like, we wouldn't have been able to do that couple's spa villa because it was one of the last days on the ship. Um, and it was booked up because we tried to move it a different time before we agreed to move it up. So they really went above and beyond to make that experience special and, accommodate us.
That is incredible. And if for any reason you were like, is Disney really worth it? I mean, that alone, like those magical moments of the crew going above and beyond, that happens all the time. This is just one of the millions of stories. And I know that people are probably curious, like, do you tip these concierge hosts? Are they, what about your room attendant? Is there anything different about concierge and how they're kind of are they included? I feel like there was something new that came out about that recently too, so people might not know the specifics of that yet. But if they're taking such good care of you, then they should be compensated, right?
Yes. So there is a concierge gratuity, and the recommended gratuity is $23.50 per night per stateroom guest. So $23.50 per night per guest. Um, and it's up to you if that's enough. Um, I'm going to tell you that every time we've sailed, I've looked at that amount and said that's not enough.
Mhm.
But that's completely up to you and what you're comfortable tipping. But they have truly always gone above and beyond for my family to make sure that we have an incredible experience. Um, with my husband celiac, they got him the gluten-free beer in the lounge, and like
Oh,
every time he walked in during happy hour, they had it ready. Like they
that's
just knew.
awesome.
But we spend a lot of time in the lounge, so we really do get to know them, and we always ask about their families and things like that. So we really do spend the time to get to know them, and in turn they do the same thing with us. So they, especially on a 7-night sailing, um, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a crier and tears are shed every time I have to leave.
Yes, yes. Every time I have to leave one of those ships, waterworks begin. So I feel you there. I love this comment from Sammy. I didn't know kids were allowed in concierge. I had not been booking it because of that. Oh my gosh. Yes, kids are absolutely allowed in the concierge lounge and
They
to be a part
love
of
the kids.
it.
You'll find
Yes.
that they'll put on cartoons for the kids. They will pull out board games for the kids. So there's games in the lounge that you can take back to your room. You can play in there. Um, they love having the kids. My
Oh,
kids will sit at the desk and talk their ears off.
that's all.
Just
And
go ahead.
yes, they're so patient with kids. They're so good with them. You think the counselors, of course, in the kids club, they're going to be great, but I've heard no parent ever have a single bad thing to say about the concierge shows. I've never heard a person in general, parent or not, say a bad thing about the concierge teams.
So Fabi in this picture, she's actually in the Wonder right now, and um, she, I love her, but she used to be in the kids club, and then she was assistant to the captain, and now she's in concierge, and she is just amazing with the kids. Um, my kids would like run up there just to see her. Um, And she is just so sweet, and she's not the only one like that. There's so many good hosts like that. Another like thing they've done for my family is my husband's grandfather passed away while we were on a sailing, and they let him make a phone call from their phone from the ship home without charging us.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
gave him the privacy, like he sat at their desk, like gave him the privacy, didn't rush his phone call. Um, and that was, not they didn't have to do that.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry that happened, but having that moment, I know that helped him be able to enjoy his cruise. When you get news like that, that's
Yeah,
always hard. So gosh, that team, they just think of everything. I mean, you just want to hug all of them.
they really do. I mean, I could tell you so many stories. Like they bring out stuffies and pirate bandanas and the pirate coins and decorate the lounge for pirate night. You can see the lounge is decorated for Christmas. It was decorated for Halloween. Like they just go above and beyond.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That team right there, that is enough to want to book concierge, at least for me, to get to experience that everybody who sails concierge raves about. I'm like, Cabana, right? Like maybe not for my family, but that concierge team in that lounge sold. Absolutely sold. Okay,
Yeah.
so I was gonna say there have been a lot of people saying concierge looks amazing, which I agree. So where do people go from here?
So reach out to me. I absolutely love to help you book and plan. And for me, booking your travel is not just transactional. I love making connections. So many of my families become my friends. They stay connected with me in my group. Even if you're not ready to book a sailing right now, send me an email and let me invite you to my travel group. Stay connected with me, get to know me, hang out and engage in my group. Like we have fun in there. So
Yeah.
I just love to make friends with other Disney Cruise Line lovers. Like it's just my jam. If you are an allergy family, I have an allergy specialized group for that, and I also have a allergy ordering guide that I will give out for free, even if you're not booked with me. So still send me an email. Um, but yeah, I just love Disney Cruise Line. I love connecting with people who are looking to sail or just love Disney Cruise Line already. So but as you can see, to wrap this up, Disney Cruise Line Concierge is just the ultimate experience. Um, you will have an incredible cruise with fantastic benefits, fantastic team, and it's really a game changer when it comes to Disney Cruise Line.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It is the next level in luxury. And I mean, Disney cruises are amazing as is, but if you want to turn it up a notch, whether it's for every cruise or for a special cruise, definitely reach out to Hunter. I say this with all of the love in my heart, but if you want someone who's going to be more excited for your Disney cruise than you are, you got to get with Hunter because she is going to be so amped up about your vacation and she's going to be so excited for your family. And I mean, I will be too, but having somebody who knows all the ships, knows the lounges, especially, the Magic and Wonder both just went through dry dock. So those spaces have changed. The treasure's just coming out. So,
The dream just
there's,
changed too,
that's right. That's right. I keep forgetting about that. So,
and the
as these,
fantasy is on its way next.
oh, I know, I can't believe that. In my mind, I'm like, what do you mean these spaces are changing?
I know.
Oh, but it's exciting. And concierge continues to be in high demand, and you see concierge rooms sell out because they're so amazing. So reach out to Hunter. That is the link to her page on the DCL community site. We will get this presentation and video and everything up in the DCL community Facebook group as well. But reach out to her, let her help you plan your family's cruise, your vacation. Her planning services are free. So let her be that resource in your planning so that you don't have to stress. You don't have to worry. You can just focus on enjoying your cruise, whether you sail concierge or otherwise. But Hunter, thank you so, so much for hanging out with us tonight. And we will
Of
see
course.
all y'all on board real soon. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.